Hey, Bucs fans, are you ready? We got a lot going on, guys. Holy cow, this was fun. This was crazy. There's a lot to talk about. There's so many angles, so many different things to talk about. It's crazy. Golly, man. This was not a normal game by any stretch of the imagination. Things got a little funky. Things got a little weird. It was a blowout, then it was close, then it was a blowout again. It was all over the place. I'm your host, Rick Hughes. I am here with Dave Whitescarver. We are here to talk to you all about this game, everything that happened, everything going on around the NFL, everything going on with fantasy, everything just plain going on. If you care, if you're a Bucs fan, that's what we're here for. It's the post-game show, guys. It's ready for it's fun time. That's about it. Let's jump right into this. Well, first of all, Dave, let me ask you a question. What's your overall impression of the game?
I thought the Falcons played much better than I expected them to. Going into the fourth quarter, it was a 3-point game, and the Bucs defense stepped up. They had been a bit lethargic, but when it was time to play ball, the defense stood up and took the game away from the Falcons.
Yeah, it's the kind of game where you look at and you feel great about it, then you feel like, oh crap, then you feel great about it again, and at the end of it, you're looking at it going, okay. It's confusing. It sends mixed signals. You got which may be the best thing because they haven't hit their stride completely yet. This isn't a complete game, but you know what? We've talked about this before. We talked about it last week. This is what you have to do to win big games. And they did everything they had to do to win this game or to win any game. I mean, they outplayed their opponent, certainly. Were there things to talk about that you could get better? Yes. And I'm sure people are freaking out online. And, I just don't see any reason everybody needs to, I don't think this week we'll hear the panic that we heard last week about, oh my God, Jameis Winston. I mean, we didn't hear a peep out of those people, nothing but crickets today. Didn't know Winston stuff. And it was, Tom Brady threw 5 touchdowns and a heck of a lot of yards. This is what we brought him in for. So everybody enjoy it. This is it. This is why we're here. It's a Buccaneer. It's a Buccaneer victory day. The good guys win, folks. The good guys win. So we got all kinds of fun stuff to talk about. How'd they do it? Dave, tell me about the first quarter.
First quarter, Bucs took the opening kickoff and went down on a 6-play, 75-yard drive that ended with a Brady to Gronk 20-yard touchdown to the right pylon. 2 high safety zone coverage by the Falcons left the seam open for Gronk. Extra point was good by Suckup. Your score, Tampa Bay 7, Atlanta 0.
Yeah, in the second quarter, the Brady Gronk show continued. A second touchdown and one by Mike Evans. Calvin Ridley brought in a touchdown. Basically, everybody was scoring in the second quarter. Calvin Ridley scored the Falcons' first touchdown. The Bucs gave up an absolutely ridiculous late field goal in what just should have been garbage time. So when they went into the half, it was 21-10. Halftime, by the way, I want to tip our hats to Monty Kiffin. Monty Kiffin, welcome to the Ring of Honor. You deserve it. Monty Kiffin was a defensive coordinator under both Tony Dungy and John Gruden. And, if you listen to him, you get fired up. You got to love the guy. He's he's lovable, and you see why the team fought so hard for him. And then that ended. We got back into the game. Dave, third quarter.
Atlanta received the second kickoff. a second half kickoff. And on the second play, Vita Vea tipped the Matt Ryan pass that was intercepted by Shaq Barrett as he was down deep in Falcon territory at the 18. Tom Brady completed a 1-yard fade route pass to Mike Evans in the left corner of the end zone for a touchdown. Chris Godwin was interfered with in the end zone on the prior play, which was why the pass was only for 1 yard. Suckup added the extra point, and the score, Tampa Bay 28, Atlanta 10. Falcons took the kickoff and drove 75 yards, 13 plays, ending in a 3-yard Matt Ryan pass to Calvin Ridley. Koo converts the extra point. Your score, Tampa Bay 28, Atlanta 17. Tampa had a 3-and-out, and then the Atlanta Falcons went on a 6-play, 48-yard drive that ended with the Matt Ryan short middle touchdown pass to Cordell Patterson for a 7-yard touchdown. Atlanta went for a 2-point conversion that was good on a Matt Ryan left-end run, and you scored Tampa Bay 28, Atlanta 25, heading into the fourth quarter. The Bucs only had 19 yards of offense in that third quarter.
Yeah, that's amazing. 270 yards of offense at the half, 289 after the third quarter. That there's no excuse for that. But there is a solution, and that's what they did in the fourth quarter. The fourth quarter was it started off 28-25. Bradley Pinion dropped a punt at the 2-yard line, which bounced back to the 4. They downed the Falcons deep at the 4-yard line. Bradley Pinion did it again, and immediately there was a huge Nunez Roche's massive tackle for loss on a third down play that buried the Falcons very, very deep. It was deep in Falcons territory, and immediately Mike Edwards stepped up for a 34-yard pick six to bring the score to 41-25, and all of a sudden that, oh no, a little bit scary, all of a sudden wasn't so scary. And not long after that, another pick six by Mike Edwards. It closed out the game. And I mean, guys, to me, you look at what happened, and this is what happens is when you need a play, somebody steps up, and that's what this team is built to do. So yeah, you walk out of the game with a victory. It's not the cleanest, it's not the most perfect. In some ways, it's not the prettiest, but take a look at that scoreboard. How pretty you guys think it is right now? I'm feeling pretty good about it. I mean, I don't know that I could be much happier, guys. I want your comments. We are, by the way, here with on the Florida Sports Network. We are here on Bucs Report. We are here with all of you guys, and I want to hear from all of you. There's a lot to talk about. There's a ton to talk about. So you guys can join us on any of those platforms. Just go to Bucs Report, or on Twitter, go to Sports Talk at Sports Talk FLA. And you guys can interact. Maybe from time to time we'll get to a comment here or there. But there's so much to cover. So much about this game. I watched this game and I never felt a sense of panic. The one thought that crossed my mind is when the Bucs had the big lead and then the Falcons came storming back, I thought this would be their revenge game for that 28-3 against Brady if they did complete the comeback. Didn't happen. And that's the difference between that Falcons team and this Buccaneers team. That's why this Buccaneers team is a championship team. The Falcons team, yeah, well, they're not. And I think that this really shows why. So as a Bucs fan, pound your chest, be proud, be happy. We got the win. We're 2-0 going into week 3. Big game. We'll get to that later. Big game. We'll get to that later. But tonight, wow, today, what a fun game. Football's fun right now as a Bucs fan. I mean, it really, really is a fun day. I just had a good time with the game. I had a good time watching it, listening to it. Somebody kept stepping up. It was a different guy, in the first quarter, then the second quarter, then the third quarter, then the fourth quarter. There was always somebody different. Once again, the punter sets the stage to win the game. I mean, that's 2 weeks in a row that's happened. How crazy is that? I mean, that a punter plays that big of a role in a game, but he did. And that's all unexpected and exciting. and just very, very cool. Dave, was there anything on the injury report of note?
Carlton Davis went out early in the first quarter. However, they came out, brought him to the sideline on his own. He came to the sideline on his
Hold on, Dave. We actually have a caller. We
Okay.
actually have a caller calling in. Matt from Oklahoma City. How you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. Let me try to get this on regular.
Let me hold on. Hold on. No, I actually did not have you completely plugged in yet. I hadn't turned on the phone lines and you started calling.
Oh, I thought you said we're opening on all different avenues.
No, yeah. We're fine. Just give it a second. It's going to take a second. I don't, like I said, I wasn't ready. I didn't put that on. I wasn't expecting you yet, but we'll get there. All right. Go ahead.
Fine.
There we go. I got you now. All right, brother.
Okay.
Tell me your thoughts on the game. By the way, this is Matt Colson, Matt from Oklahoma City. He is one of the miscreants. You will catch him on Saturday night on Miscreant Mayhem on Bucs Report. So what are your thoughts on the game, brother?
Well, I went into the game thinking we should go 28-3 and just run heavy so that we ate up all the clock and didn't let them score, and that would have been really cool. But we kind of messed that up. By the third quarter, I was throwing things again, and I had to put all my remotes.
You got to stop that. You got to stop it. Stop that.
Yeah, it was just rough. But I don't remember when the last time. Oh, well, I do know the last time it happened. Rondé Barber got 2 pick sixes in one game. That's the last time it happened. So it had to be a long time ago.
So did Dwight Smith.
Yeah, that was a good way to win the game, showing both sides of the ball doing their job.
Yep.
And we pretty much just crushed them once we got started.
It wasn't even as close as the score made it sound.
Yeah, and I was happy with it. Now we're 10 games in a row. We're only 7 away from the Brady Slam.
Yep.
And we got the Rams coming next week. I hope we do well.
Yeah, it's gonna be big. It's gonna be big.
That'll be a big game out at SoFi.
Yeah,
Stadium.
It's gonna be huge. Our first time going to SoFi this year. That's what I'm gonna keep saying. So
yeah,
with people in the stands.
Very cool. Very cool.
I like the way Rick put that, though. That's the first time to go this year.
That's right. It's our first time going
in the Super Bowl.
That's right.
And that's a good thing.
That's our first time we're going to SoFi this year. But yeah, I mean, it was that crazy. It was that fun. It was that exciting. Thanks for calling, Matt.
Yeah, you guys have a good show.
Yeah, hang here. You can always call back later, brother. You can always call back later.
Yeah, we always want to hear from you, man.
Have a good one.
Right. Thanks, Matt.
Bye.
Boy, that's Matt. Matt's on it. Matt is ready. He's excited. And I will open the phone lines here shortly, guys. But yeah, I mean, Dave, you were in the middle of the injury update. Go ahead.
Carlton Davis, he was attended to the field at 11:40 left in the first quarter, left under his own power. He was replaced by Russ Cockrell. However, Carlton Davis came back into the game on the Falcons' next possession. So that's the only injuries that I picked up on, and it looked like what you want, another clean game as far as injuries go.
Yeah. Yeah, as Teresa Baxter actually mentions, Teresa's interacting with us on Facebook. Teresa said that the defense finally got into this, and that's absolutely correct. And Mike Stover mentioned one play Devin didn't finish a sack, but did redeem himself. Listen, man, anybody who's just everybody stop it. You look at, one play he didn't finish a sack. Come on, man. You're not going to be perfect every play. And I mean, when you're putting pressure on, when you're doing that, come on. All right. It's good. It's all good. The defense did just fine. Thank you. That's a real man's offense on the other side of the field. Okay. They may not have much of a defense, but that is a good offense. They are finding their sea legs with this new coach and this new team. And, you know, the secondary looked much better today. The defensive line looked much better. There's nothing but reasons to feel encouraged and happy. I mean, that's my general feeling, and my general takeaway on this is yeah, it's time for that. I mean, it's time to be happy. It's time to feel good about it. It's time, you know, I mean, it really, really is. Let's buck ball the way you want it to happen. You know, I mean, Dave, what was your biggest concern?
My biggest concern was how long the Falcons stayed into the game. You're absolutely right. The defense stepped up. They flipped the switch and said, enough is enough. but it did take 3 quarters for that to happen. And my concern is where was that intensity in the first half? And if you're going to go out and play the Rams in LA, you better be bringing your A game in the first quarter.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. But I think they will. And, okay, it wasn't a perfect game. That's okay. Not every game is going to be. Not every game is going to be perfect. Not every game. You're going to find plays in every game that somebody can complain about. I mean, if you recall, 1 week ago, people were complaining that Jameis Winston was a better quarterback than Tom Brady.
How could we have let Jameis go?
Right. And I mean, he's got a total of less yardage Jameis does in 2 games than Tom Brady had in the first half today. I mean, it's crazy. And Brady threw for the 5 today. And how many was it? 4 last week, I think. I mean, it's insane. This is Tom Brady's 7th time he's thrown for 5 touchdowns, twice already as a Buccaneer. 2 out of his 7 are with the Bucs, guys. Listen. Rob Gronkowski with 2 more touchdowns. This is the best combination we have ever seen, and maybe the best combination ever in the history of football. Dave, I believe you agree with that, correct?
Oh, absolutely. And the thing that Gronkowski doesn't get the praise that he should is, like, Travis Kelce is a fantastic receiver. He can't block a lick. Rob Gronkowski can block. And he's a complete and total tight end. In addition to having, which I personally believe and have heard others say, that he's got the best hands they've ever seen. Wide receiver, tight end, running back. It doesn't matter. He's got the best hands they've ever seen.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, feel free, folks. You can give me a call at 678-825-5263. That's 678-825-5263. If you do not get through, it's because we are already on a line. So you don't need to keep hammering over and over and over. Just wait until that call's gone and then give me a shout. But yeah, guys, I mean, this is what it's all about. 678-825-5263. I want to hear from you. It says this is your show too, guys. I mean, this is the Bucs Report and Sports Talk Florida post game show, and it's all about interacting with you guys. I want to hear from you. All of you. I don't care what you have to say. Give me a call. Whoops. apparently we're giving. Yeah. Apparently, now that I plugged in my phone, I need to turn off the notifications. Anyway, yeah, Gronk had 2 more TDs. He's now the all-time touchdown holder for a tight end. Is that correct?
That is correct. All time. It is Rob Gronkowski.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. We got another call coming in. It is none other than Harry the Greek. Harry from on Wednesday nights. He's got the over-under with Harry the Greek. It's a great show. We got Harry on here now to tell us. Tell me from your perspective, what'd you just watch?
What did I just watch? I watched a hell of a game. I mean, we got to see a little bit. We got to see a little bit of running the football. How about that, Rick? Huh?
Yeah, I know. What
about that?
What do you know?
How about running the football? They actually had it in them. I don't know if you knew this or not, Rick, but the Buccaneers ran the fewest amount of plays. I'm sorry, not the fewest amount of times. They ran the least amount in week 1 in the entire NFL. And this week they finally picked it up a little bit. 5 touchdown passes for Tom Brady. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Really? It was just unbelievable. And most of all, guys, come on, Rick. You know I had to say it. We have a Josh Rosen sighting today.
And yeah, Josh Rosen did come in during garbage time, which tells you everything you need to know about Josh Rosen. He comes in to play during garbage time.
I got to tell you what, guys, it got a little interesting there for a little while in the fourth quarter. And then 2 pick sixes in a row. How about that, man? I mean, seriously.
The defense just said enough.
We're done playing around here. Smack, go home.
Yeah. Yeah. That was like I said, games are going to be close. You're playing another pro team. I mean, this is not going to be a bad, you're playing you're playing grown men on the other side of the ball. And if you expect just because, it's just going to be easy. I don't care if you're playing the Jets or Detroit or whoever, you're not going to sit there and just expect it to be a cakewalk. If you do that, that's how you get your butt kicked. So,
Tell me about it.
Yeah. So that's It's going to be tough. There are going to be times. And listen, we talked about this. Look, I'm not one of the people believing the Bucs are going to win every game this year. And I believe that they're going to lose a couple of games that everybody thinks they should win. And you guys are going to call and freak out to Harry or to me. You're going to call up and start whining to us and tell us how it's so terrible and it's all over. And oh my gosh, we should get that other guy back. I mean, we're used to hearing it. And this is,
you know what? I got to tell you, you're saying everybody's going to expect them, oh my God, they got to win every single game. Let me tell you something. I'm going to tell you right now, you can't go undefeated unless you win every game. I know that sounds like a very cliche statement.
No, that's it. You're right.
Their toughest test of the entire season is coming up next week, period.
Yeah.
You win that game, and you can start the countdown, baby. And all you have to do is run the football. Let me tell you something. The Rams looked a little pedestrian this week.
Yeah,
I watched that game very closely, and there was a lot of teams that did not look good in week 1, Rick.
Right.
That I had predicted that would do extremely well in week 2.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, Tennessee was one of them. It's overtime, baby.
Yeah, it didn't happen.
They came back and they tied the football game. So, look for something exciting next week. And, I'm telling you, Tampa wins next week. You can start the countdown.
Yeah, and every time they play the Rams, it's always such a crazy, exciting game. I mean, there are so many memories. And on Tuesday night show, maybe on your Wednesday night show, we'll talk a little bit about some of those memories. Harry, what's the over/under for the year for the Bucs?
It was 12.5. In some cases, it was 10.5. And that was like for a blip of a second.
Yeah, that's
there were so
crazy.
Many teams. I mean, so many people were betting it. It went up all the way to 12.5.
Yeah, 10.5. I would have just completely jumped on that. I mean, absolutely. That's crazy.
I mean, there's all the majority of the prognosticators have predicted the Bucs to win at least 14 games this year. 14 games in 17. So you mean you're going to win 14-3. It's extremely hard to do.
Yeah,
but it's achievable. It's out there. The carrot's out there. They just have to stay healthy.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I'm the cynic because I've been such a big fan for so long that I think I've just had the crap beat out of me to the point that I'm maybe a little bit cynical. And I look at it and I'm ready. Look, I know they're going to drop a couple of games that they shouldn't. And it might not even be their fault. The ball bounces in a weird way. It's a bad matchup. This guy's out, that guy's out. Mike hamstring. That was probably an accurate mistake.
Talking about injuries, how is Mike Evans feeling? Does anybody know? Has anybody gotten the report?
Did he get hurt during the game?
Oh, he got dinged.
Mike Evans gets dinged in every game. I challenge you to find a game where you do not see Mike Evans dinged up.
Well, about 25 years ago, I remember game 4.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's crazy. It's every game. I mean, when you tackle him the first time, he gets the oh poor me face on the sidelines, and then he comes out and catches the ball for 100 yards and 2 touchdowns or whatever. I mean, he's a great receiver, but he's a bit of a I'll just leave it there. I'll leave it there. I love the guy. Absolutely love the guy. He's so important to this team. But come on. I mean, everybody knows. Okay, Matt Colson says Evans just had some cramps. That's all.
It looked a little bit more in cramps, but then again, it was like 180 degrees down on the field.
That is Mike Evans, though.
Yeah, the footing was a little bit slippery because of all the moisture. I mean, Rick, I don't know if you knew it, but the ground is so wet here from all the rain that we've been having.
Okay.
Even though it didn't rain today, the driveway still has puddles of water in it. And if you could believe that, that's how humid and how heavy the air is down here in the greater Tampa Bay area.
Well, Barry Gould just contacted us and said, it was cramps. He's okay. So.
Oh, that's good. That's good. See, healthy, with the exception of a Sean Murphy Bunting. And I don't know if you knew this or not, but Sean Murphy Bunting elected not to have surgery, and he is going to the holistic way. I don't know if I said that correctly or not. I don't know those big high words like you guys do, but I guess he's trying some some Giselle's things. I have no idea. I mean, maybe some herbs and spices, and the next thing you know, he's going to be playing in a couple of weeks, which is unreal, especially with the injury and the way he suffered it.
Yeah, Tom Brady has got him on his special diet. He's not cooking with olive oil anymore. He's eating nothing but avocados,
olive oil, and a little Giselle. You sprinkle a little Giselle over the top. Sean Murphy Bunning's hand's already good, and so is his shoulders.
Yeah,
he'll be good to go next week.
Yeah. Thanks for calling, Harry. Harry, tell everybody when your show is.
Where you can find me is on Wednesday evenings at 9 p.m. on the Over-Under, and I'm usually with Tampa Bay Ray Kennedy, the best of the Bay, and then the pregame show for 2 hours prior to game time over at the Deck Bar and Grill over in Isla del Sol.
Yeah, it was a great show today, by the way.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Go Bucs, go Bucs, go Bucs, as Rick Hughes says. And keep up the good work, guys, because I love your show, and it's absolutely off the chain.
Thanks.
Keep up the views. Keep up all the comments, everybody. And don't forget to share that show, because that's how we grow organically. Go get them, Rick, and go Bucs.
Thanks, man. Have a good one.
Thanks, Harry.
Take care.
All right, that's awesome. That was Harry the Greek from live, from the pregame show and the Over-Under on Wednesday nights. Look, guys, to me, this is the first time the Bucs have ever won 10 in a row. That's a cool thing. I mean, especially Dave and I know Dave has been there since day one, game one of this franchise. Both of us have lived through all of it, and to know this is the first time. Yeah, this is the first time the Buccaneers have won 10 games in a row. And you brought up an interesting stat. I just want to touch on it real quick. They have to win how many games this year to be over 40% as a franchise?
If they win 12 games this year, they will then be over 40% lifetime in the history of the franchise, over 40%.
Yeah, that's awesome, because that 40%. Now, I know you were saying that's horrible, but to me, 40% doesn't sound so bad when you're used to season after season where you're 3-11, 2-14. I mean, they were just horrible years that they had. Starting. I think they started with 14 games, if I remember right.
They lost starting with 1983 for 12 straight years. They lost 10 or more games. Stop and sit down and think about that. They lost 10 or more games for 12 straight years.
10 or more games for 12 straight years.
In a league that pretty much insists on parity.
Yeah, it's brutal. It's brutal. Well, tonight, though, guys, back to tonight. Let's stick with tonight's game, or today's game. Guys, there is so much to talk about. And I want to hear from you. Again, call me at 678-825-5263, 678-TALK, Talk to me. I want to hear from you. I want to hear your opinions. I want to hear your questions. I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear all of that from you. I want your opinions on the game. We'll talk about all of that. We want to talk a little bit about the NFC South as a whole, because holy crap, what happened today, Dave?
Well, the only other game to pay attention to was the Saints at the Panthers. Carolina was up 17-0 at the half, and they ended up demolishing the Saints that didn't even score until the fourth quarter. The final score is 26-7. Jameis Winston, where we've heard in the last week some Buc fans suggest maybe they should have just kept Jameis. He went 11 for 22 for 111 yards, 0 touchdowns, and the familiar 2 interceptions. To contrast that, Sam Darnold was 26 for 38, 305 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. And here's the stat that stood out to me. Alvin Kamara, he's on your fantasy team, you're crying, and you'll be crying into the night. He had 8 carries for 5 yards. Christian McCaffrey, on the other hand, he had an okay day for him. He was 24 carries, 72 yards, and a touchdown. And on the wide receiver side, DJ Moore had 8 receptions on 11 targets for 79 yards and a touchdown. So basically, as big a win as the Saints had over the Packers, they got it handed to them by the Panthers today.
I mean, the Panthers beat the living tar out of the Saints. Last week, holy cow, the Saints look they looked really good. And you heard me say, you heard Johnny Dean say the first week is a lie. That you've got to understand that teams that are not as good are going to look better. Well, that's what you saw happen. All right, that is what you saw happen. Teams that, and by the way, a quick thing I'm going to point out, and we'll talk more deeply about this later. Tua went out, I believe, with a rib injury or something similar to that. Got carted off the field, I guess. Wow.
Jacoby Brissett came in his absence, and it didn't go well. The Dolphins didn't score. Yeah,
and the Giants, the Giants won a couple of nights, lost a couple of nights ago to Washington. Washington looks, they everybody talks so much like this defensive line is the best thing ever. They look pretty good. I just don't know that they look that great and that unbeatable, and they still are in a crap division. The Eagles, who looked so good in week 1, got their hat handed to them 17-11. I'm not kidding. By the 49ers. It's I don't know. That division is just bad. The Cowboys did win, I believe, today, but man, that division, the NFC East, is bad. It's just they're just bad. But the NFC South, guys, the Bucs are 2-0. Carolina's 2-0. The Saints are 1-1. And then there's that Falcons team.
And who would have thought that after week 1?
Yeah.
I do have to add, I did mention to keep an eye on the Panthers.
Yeah.
I didn't think they'd be a playoff team, but I had mentioned earlier that I think they're going to be close to 500. They're much improved.
Well, what I think is funny is I live in Charlotte, and now watch all of a sudden. I'm not hurt. I've been here for over a year now, and I've not heard anybody talking about the Panthers. Now watch, all of a sudden there's going to be Panthers gear everywhere, and everybody's going to be acting like, yeah, man, I've been a fan all along. I don't know. But it's I guess what you can expect. But I just think that there should be, I don't know, maybe I'm crazy, but shouldn't Dave, I know you and I stuck with the team and wore the jerseys through the embarrassment and all of that. Everybody stick with your team, have some fun with it, enjoy it. The wins, the losses, both ways. Everybody last week was talking all about, oh man, Winston threw 5 touchdowns, no interceptions. Oh my gosh, we threw 2 picks today. Brady threw 4 touchdowns last week. Brady threw 5 touchdowns today. Tom Brady has 9 freaking touchdowns right now. 9. Okay. Jameis Winston has 254 yards or something total for the year. Guys, please stop looking back at the old girlfriend that was not as pretty as the beautiful one you're dating now. We've got the best quarterback to ever play the game. Ever. He's the Bucs quarterback. I do want to hear from you guys. Give me a call, 678-825-5263. Let's talk Bucs. Come on, guys. There's what, you don't have enough to talk about? You're running out of things to talk about? Really? That seems kind of odd today of all days. I don't know. Brady seemed as sharp as ever. He was throwing the ball to everybody. One of the things I have talked about for a while, look, I get a lot of things wrong, guys. I don't deny it. I'm not going to pretend it's not true.
I agree with that.
Oh, hold on. We got another, one of my favorite callers, Todd from Winter Park. Todd from Winter Park is giving us a call. How you doing, Todd?
Hey, Rick. How y'all doing? How you doing, David?
I am doing great. Great to hear from you, Todd.
I'm excited.
Yes,
I'm excited. I'm seriously. We're 2-0, bud.
How are things in Winter Park? That's where I was born.
It's a great feeling. I actually sold my tickets today to a buddy of mine. His girlfriend's a big Brady fan, so I said,
"That's cool."
I sold him to him. Go and have a good time.
Yeah, that's
so
cool.
So I watched it today, but I'll tell you, when this team is on all cylinders,
yeah,
these defensive coordinators, they will get a migraine watching what we do.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's different. It's a different guy every play, every game, every time. And I've talked about this. And Dave, I know you and I have talked about this. Todd, I think you and I may have talked about this. Every game is going to look completely different. Every game, there's going to be somebody new that looks like the star of that game. I mean, you barely saw Antonio Brown today. He was great last week. I mean, it's funny, isn't it?
Well, we have so many weapons, and even Greg Olson, who was doing the telecast, was talking about it. I mean, when you got 3 number 1 wide receivers, you got one of the greatest tight ends in the history of football playing right now, and him and Brady just got the chemistry. They got it going. It's like they're in New England all over again.
I don't even know that I think they're literally having a better. Yeah, I think they're actually doing better this year than they ever did, even in New England. I mean,
you got better wide receivers with the Bucs.
Gronk looks like he did in New England. He didn't look like that last year. Now that we've had preseason and training camp, they know the playbook.
Yeah,
it's a different story.
Yeah,
it's like not fair for the other team.
What's that, Dave?
It's not fair for the other team, really. I mean, Gronk's in shape and he knows the playbook, as Matt was saying. It's just not fair for the other team. He finds the seams. You try to go one-on-one with him, he'll outmuscle you. If you try to play zone, he'll find the seam like he did on his first touchdown pass today. It's really not fair for the opposing defense. They know
what they're thinking. They know what each other is thinking. And, I mean, Gronk apparently is in the best shape of his career. I mean, Brady's got 9 touchdown passes already, guys. Remember that 30 for 30 thing? Brady's got 2 games in. He's already at 9. I mean, this is insane.
And and he's 44. I mean, he is. Terry Bradshaw said he's amazing, and he is amazing.
Yeah.
He takes great care of himself. Now he knows the playbook. You know, he can just rattle the plays right off now. Where last year, you know, he just looked, you know, the first half of the season, he looked lost. Of course, second half of the season, we started getting it together. But, you know, the first half of the season, he just looked lost. And Brady said it himself in an interview, you know, I went from English to Spanish, and I didn't know what I was doing. And he admitted it.
Right.
You know, now he knows what he's doing.
Now he speaks fluent. Now he speaks fluent.
What's
I think Belichick
he speaks fluently, right?
Yes. I do still think, and not knocking our team. I love our team. You know, I love the Bucs. I think there's still some work to be done, and it's early in the season. And I just watched Bruce Arians' press conference, and he says the same thing. There's some things that they need to work on, but I think as the season goes along, they're going to get better and better and better, and it's going to be scary. Now we got a test next week.
Boy, do we
against the Rams.
Boy, do we.
Which I do think the Rams are one of the better teams in the league.
Yeah, it's going to be this. But you know what? If you're going to be a champion, here you go. I mean, you can't expect it to be a cakewalk. Not that the Bucs are afraid of that. Look what they went through in the playoffs last year. Okay, Rams, here we come.
Well, we got Kansas City back.
Yep.
We got New Orleans back.
Yep.
We owe the Bears and Rams.
Yep.
And we owe the Rams next week.
Yeah. Agreed. As always, Todd, you are one of my favorite callers that I've had on any of my shows ever. I very much look forward to.
I appreciate that very much.
Yeah, I gen a show where I'm taking callers. I hope Todd calls. Thanks, brother.
Yes, sir. Thank you, David. You guys have a great night.
Thank you. Great call.
Take care. Love that guy. I absolutely love that guy, Todd from Winter Park, and he is awesome. He's a real fan. Been around for a very, very long time.
I respect that.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I wanted to
He's been
cut
there for
in, Rick. The Titans pulled it out, field goal in overtime, and the Seahawks are 1-1. They fall at home.
Wow. Hey, I don't think the Seahawks are what they were either. So that to me is, that says a lot. The Titans aren't what they were. The Seahawks aren't what they were. I mean, did the Cardinals pull out that game?
Cardinals.
I know I'm putting you on the spot. Sorry.
No, the spot's right here. The Cardinals pulled it out 34-33. The Vikings are 0-2, and they've lost one in overtime and won by 1 point. So Kirk Cousins has got to be shaking his head at this point.
That's heartbreaking. That's the difference between a good team and a bad team, though, guys. You win some and you lose some, but you've got to be able. I mean, the good teams pull out, find ways to win the games. I remember all those years watching New England win games, and you're like, oh, come on. Not again. I mean, really, 1 point again. And this is how it works. I want to talk about Bruce Arians going into the half.
He was not a happy camper.
No, he was not a happy
More
camper.
than usual.
I don't even know how I'm not even sure how I can talk to you guys about this because of the language that he used on the radio. I don't know if there's going to be an FAA fine FCC fine. Sorry. I don't know how that's going to work because Bruce Arians cut loose. I mean, dropping S-bombs, he was mad and he just let it go on the radio live saying how he was absolutely ticked off at the team. There was nothing to be happy about. It's the most angry I've ever heard him. I mean, he literally said, there is nothing for me to be happy about. I don't like it. I mean, the Bucs were winning. But he was like, no, I'm not happy about the offense. We should be up by 35. No, I'm not happy about the defense. You see those penalties? And he was dropping. Now understand, I'm giving you the family friendly version. But he was screaming mad at the person. And it was fun. It was crazy. God, I love that guy. I mean, I really love that guy. You could feel the anger. And I'm sure at halftime, there's some people who wow, got chewed out pretty good. So yeah. It's pretty crazy though. I don't know. You just it gets fun like that. It does. It gets fun like that. So give us a call at 678-825-5263. Whenever whenever you get the chance, give us a call. Oh, all right. We have a call. Hold on. All right. Caller. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Actually, Billy the Giants fan.
You're Billy the Giants fan.
Location unknown.
Okay. Well, welcome
Can you
to the
trace
Bucs
it, Rick?
Report.
All right.
What do we got for you? Did you watch our game, Billy?
No, I don't like the Bucs. I wanted to just give a call. I'm really looking forward to the game. We're going head to head on November 22nd, and we're playing the Bucs. Giants.
You're looking forward to the November 22nd game?
Yep. Yeah.
I guess
I'm getting ready. It's an infamous day in American history because something very catastrophic happened, and I'm looking forward to the same type of things happen to the Bucs. And you can look it up.
Well, they probably should have been ready for this week, not worrying about November 22nd. But I guess they didn't think about that during the Giants game.
Well, you can think about whatever you want, but why would I be calling the Bucs radio show other than to talk about the Giants head-to-head matchup? So I'll probably call in once or twice between now and then.
I'm looking forward to it, Billy.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward
to it. I want to go. Just one thing I noticed about your game today. I just want to say Antonio Brown. What a great sign. What do you have today? 1 reception for 7 yards.
The victory?
Great,
in the
great
victory.
job.
Yes, in the victory, he did only have 1 reception. That's right.
Oh,
Thanks
that's
a
right.
lot,
You guys
Billy.
get that's right. Now I forgot. You guys actually have victories now. I forgot about that from a historical.
I'm sure you have forgotten about victories. Thanks for calling, Billy.
As recently as Thursday night.
That's awesome.
Talk about getting.
That was awesome. Billy the Giants fan.
I mean, the Giants are experts at snapping victory from the what was it? Defeat from the jaws of victory.
That was awesome. That. Todd,
he's fired up about that November matchup.
Todd, I told you were one of my favorite callers. You've just been replaced. I like Billy the Giants fan. Wow.
I don't want to talk about the Bucs game. I want to talk about the Giants-Bucs matchup in November.
Oh my gosh, that was perfect. That was perfect. Oh my gosh. I've got people texting me just saying, what the heck was that? That was awesome. Wow. All right. If you're a Bucs fan, maybe I need to clarify. I probably should have clarified. If you're a Bucs fan and want to call in and talk about today's game, 678-825-5263. 678-825-5263. 678. Talk to me. Wow. Billy, the Giants fan. That was fun. All right. So, all right. Hold on. Now we have. Hello. Is this our locker room report?
Well, I would say it's the faux locker room report. Are you ready?
Yes.
Have I called at a bad time?
No, you're calling it a great time, although I don't know if you just heard the last caller. You're calling it a great time.
Oh, you mean that Giants guy? Hey, I want to talk about the game in like a month from now because my team's horrible.
2 months
That
from
guy?
now.
2 months.
Yeah, that guy.
He's fired up
Hey,
already.
hey, let me tell you, if we had a Monty Tuma and those guys, Plaxico Burris, we could probably not win more than 2 games.
That was fun.
Go Giants.
I know. That was fun. That just made my night.
Well, you know what else makes my night?
What's that?
Watching Tom Brady throw for 5 touchdowns and still relying on back-to-back pick sixes by Mike Edwards. How crazy is that?
I know. And yeah, it was following a game when he threw 4 touchdowns. I mean, he's already got 9 for the year. 9.
And 4 to Gronkowski.
Yeah. 4 to Gronk.
He's got 9 and he's got 9 and he's got a 10 home. Sorry.
I'm going to leave it there. There's so many jokes I can go with that I'm just going to leave it. We're on the post game show. Yes, we're on the post game show, so I'll behave.
I'll save that for live from the cheap seats tonight, guys. 9:00. Don't forget to tune in. Now, you probably want to talk about what these guys had to say at the press conferences.
Yes.
You probably do, huh?
Yes, I would love to hear that.
Well, let me tell you, they're still ongoing. So I've got a couple snippets from 2 or 3 different ones. First of all, Bruce Arians is not happy with how the Bucs played today. Says they got lackadaisical in the second half. Does like the way the team started and how they finished, but the in-between part, not so much. I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think we can all agree.
19
Absolutely.
yards
Now,
in the third quarter.
For you opposing defensive coordinators, Bruce Arians also alluded to the fact that the Buccaneers left a lot of points out there today.
Yep.
Think about that. 41 points?
Yeah, and it is amazing. I mean, there was that fumble deep or what? Yeah, Brady fumbled like at the 5 or something. That was another one. I mean, then there was yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Then they we had Rob Gronkowski, we had Mike Evans come up to the podium and was asked about the play of Rob Gronkowski today, how they both got, 2 touchdowns each.
Yep.
Mike Evans' quote is, he's the best tight end of all time for a reason.
Yeah.
So high praise for Mike Evans.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he is the best as far as touchdowns. He is the all-time touchdown holder for tight ends.
Right. And file this under another scary thing for opposing defensive coordinators. As I mentioned earlier, Bruce Arians said the Bucs left points out there today. To echo that, Tom Brady says the Buccaneers offense can still be even better than they were today. We're not even started yet. So
that's nice to hear, isn't it?
But it's scary, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if 41's not quite there, so what? We're going to be scoring in the 60s. So it's Madden football at this point.
It's getting well. I mean, it's getting there. It's getting there. That's the crazy part. Yeah, that's now, and I gotta say this, a game I was not looking forward to, or I didn't have any reason to really care about, or anything like that. Now I'm really looking forward to the Giants game.
Oh yeah. Hey, the guy who called in, okay, dude, wrong time, wrong channel. Did the Giants even play today?
No, they played Thursday. They lost to the Red. Whoa, that was close.
Whoa.
That was close. Almost. I caught myself.
Bleep that one
it's
out.
okay. It's okay. FCC. I stopped. The Washington football team.
They lost to a team with no name.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
just so we're clear.
Yeah.
We got a little snippet from Tom Brady. Tom Brady, of course, was asked about his glorious scramble for a first down late in the game. And he said, it doesn't come naturally to me. I wouldn't call it a scramble, more of a glide for a first down. Tom Brady was showing off a little bit of his baseball skills with a very nice slide into second base for the first down today with Buccaneers.
Well, I mean, we don't want him doing that very much.
Not really, right?
No.
I mean, at some point you gotta go, okay, wait a minute.
Yeah. Yeah. What were your thoughts about the short kickoffs that they were trying, and what the heck were they thinking?
I don't know. I mean, we know he's got a leg.
He's got more touchbacks. He's got more touchbacks than any other kicker last year. He had more than any other kicker, and they were afraid to kick deep. I mean,
I know they were scared of Cordero Patterson as a returner. He's pretty dangerous. I know that.
I understand that, but when you've got more touchbacks than any other kicker, dude, go for it. I mean,
just rip it and rip it.
Right. I mean, why not? So
that's where I'm at.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
Let me see if I can pull you a couple more nuggets. Brady's quoted as saying, I know I can play better, but most important thing is we're 2-0. So, there's a typical Tom Brady statement if I ever heard one.
Right.
Again, when you have someone like Mike Evans, a guy who has 7 consecutive years of 1,000 yards receiving, calling you the greatest tight end of all time, that says something.
Yeah. Well, I'm not even sure it's debatable, is it? I mean, Tony Gonzalez. Who else are you going to do? Who's in the conversation?
The Gronk set these records.
When you factor in the fact that Gronkowski has the blocking ability he has, it's insane. I mean, he's an all-around tight end.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I mean. Other than Tony Gonzalez, who can be in that conversation?
And he's only played 11 years. How long did Gonzalez play?
Yeah, I mean, there's a list of people behind Gonzalez that you can put up, but we're talking Rob. I mean, he's got 4 touchdowns in 2 games,
right?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Chris Godwin was asked about the Buccaneers offense still being able to play better, like Coach Arians and Tom Brady mentioned.
Right.
Chris Godwin, who, by the way, much respect, at his press conference was rocking the Roberto Clemente jersey.
He's always got something, doesn't he? He's always got some. Last week it was a Toronto Raptors jersey.
Well, knowing Chris Godwin and the contract or the money that these guys make, that was probably a game-worn jersey.
Yeah.
By Roberto Clemente, yeah, that would be like really old.
Can you imagine?
but Chris Godwin called the fact that the offense can play better a fair assessment. Now, he's not very much on hyperbole like some of the other Buccaneers.
Right.
But what I will say is if Chris Godwin and Arians and Brady all think the offense hasn't hit its stride yet or could do better than they have the last 2 weeks.
Yep.
Where does that put? Does that mean Tom Brady, low key is going after that single season touchdown record?
That would be awesome. I don't even know what that is.
It's like 50 something, I believe.
Yeah, I don't even know what the record is for single seasons. Dave, if you get a chance, check that out. But yeah, that would be how fun. This is the cool thing, guys. as a Bucs fan, I mean, you've got to admit this, don't you? I mean, think about it. You're calling in right now, giving us the reports on the greatest quarterback ever at his post-game press conference after a Super Bowl won at home, and you're talking about, hey, you think the Bucs quarterback might go after the all-time record for touchdowns in a year? Stop and process this.
2013 Peyton Manning, he threw 55.
Yeah, right now, Brady's on pace for, what, 4.5? What's 4.5 times 17? Numbers guy? 68,
69,
Yeah.
somewhere in there.
Yeah, he's on pace for 68 right now. That's funny how Jameis after week 1 had 5, and after week 2,
Well, that's 76.5. I must correct you.
what was that?
4.5 touchdowns for 17 games is 76.5.
76.5.
Oh, 76, like the year the Buccaneers started.
Oh, how
Yes.
awesome would that be?
Yes.
How beautiful would that be?
I think the word that Tampa Bay Ray Kennedy uses is that would be kisme.
Yeah. That's perfect.
Here's a little Buccaneer news that has nothing to do with the game. Well, at least not directly.
Okay.
Not really big news, so no need to play any music here. But the Buccaneers are bringing back outside linebacker Elijah Ponder to their practice squad. Undrafted rookie from Cincinnati was among their final cuts. He will sign with the team on Monday. That just got sent out by Greg Ullman of The Athletic about 5 minutes ago.
Is that the guy from? That's not the Navy Naval Academy.
No,
guy,
that's
is it?
not the guy in
Okay.
the service now.
Okay, just checking.
No,
Just
I'm pretty sure that guy is back at a post somewhere.
Okay, yeah. By the way, Gronk.
I mean,
Did you know this is the first time ever any receiver has caught 4 touchdown passes for the Bucs in the first 2 games? That's
first
not
of all, if you're a
bragging.
Bucs
That's
fan,
not very good, right?
Right. So if you're a Bucs fan, you go, yeah, that checks out.
Yeah,
I can recall that in my mind.
right.
Because, I mean, if there had been, wouldn't there be a statue of him outside the stadium?
Well, you know what? You got to figure there's statues of some sort coming for the Super Bowl team, and there should be. I mean, this team deserved it. There is for the first ever Super Bowl team. That last year's team deserved it. And I mean, whatever we're about to, I mean, think about this. If this team, which is basically the same team from last year, if they come back and win it again, they'd better put freaking Super Bowl up. They better rename the streets around the stadium. They'd better, I mean.
Well, I've got a great idea.
What's that?
Okay. They put up a statue of a goat standing by a fence with the word D on the fence.
There you go.
There's your statue.
There you go.
There you go.
Or just, you know what?
No,
or how about just have a goat?
Just
have
put
a
a goat
goat.
out there and just walk away. But somebody will probably protest it.
Yeah, just put a goat out there. I mean,
That's a female goat. That's a female goat.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Just put a goat out. That should become
just have a goat.
That should be the Bucs' new mascot. Like on the sidelines, they should have a goat running around. Never explain it. Never do anything other than just have the goat there and let it be self-explanatory.
Yeah, and then during the week, he just hangs out there at one Buck place and cuts the grass.
Yep,
that would be awesome.
Yeah. Anybody says, why do you have a goat here? Just be like, grounds crew.
So whenever Tom Brady finally decides to retire in like 8 years from now, hopefully, we'll just get a Billy goat and just be like, there, we still got a goat.
We still got the goat.
Same team.
That's right.
Hey, he's going for 50. He's playing through 50. It's another 6 years.
Yeah. He said the other day. He said the other day.
I can do 50. I can eat more chicken and vegetables. I'm good to go.
Oh man!
Oh, what a day, guys! What a game! Again, another very entertaining game. Even if you're not a Buccaneers fan,
yeah,
I will now go back and monitor to see what else I can pull from these press conferences for you guys. But
awesome.
In the meantime, great job.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Has there been any injuries we missed, Keith?
Did anybody mention any injuries?
Any injuries we missed?
That's what I'm going back to look for now. As of right now, there haven't been any major injuries reported.
That is awesome. Awesome. Good news. Thank you. Thanks, Keith. Appreciate it.
All right, guys.
Awesome. Very good. All right. Someone else was trying to call while we were on that line. If you are still out there and want to try to call in, give me a shout. You just had to wait for the line to be clear. If you're calling when somebody else is calling, you're not going to get through. But yeah, we are here for you. We are here if you want to call back. Anyway, new game, new players. Shine. Mike Evans was kind of nowhere in week 1. 2 touchdowns today. That's Tom Brady. Isn't that what we're used to seeing in New England? I mean, Dave, when you flash back to the old Patriots, isn't that what you're used to seeing?
Yes, except much better receivers for the Bucs. And also, Belichick, I think, limited Brady and didn't let him show off his arm. And I think you've got 2 things going. You've got better receivers, and you've got Brady, who was unleashed the middle of last season by Bruce Arians. And I think you have a very happy quarterback, and it shows.
Yeah, it's funny because, like, I live in Charlotte, and where I work, everybody talks about the fact that it's like, man, I didn't like Brady before, but I kind of like him now. And it's the truth. He's a whole different guy. And I mean, people from other teams are seeing this. And one of the things I do on my Tuesday show, on the Tuesday show that we have, Buck AF, what we do is ask, I have somebody from whatever team we're playing. Like, I hope this week we'll have Sheriff Joe Baggs on. He's a Rams fan. And I do hope we will have him on the show this week on Tuesday. If we do, one of the things that I will ask him, and I've asked Cowboys, well, hold on. We have another caller calling in. Hold on. Hey, caller, what's your name? Who am I speaking with?
Hey, this is Mr. Williams.
Hey, Mr. Williams, how are you?
You better believe it. I'm doing great.
Yes, sir.
I'm doing great. My defense showed up.
Yep.
My defense showed up, and hey man, like I say, man, we got a lot more things that we need to do on my running game.
Yeah.
And we got we need to get a couple of more people set up on my corner position because we are in depth right now.
Yeah.
We need help at corner.
Well, not if the defensive line plays like it did today.
Oh man, my line did a wonderful job.
Yes, sir.
My line did a wonderful job. Like I say, hey man, I take my hat off to my line, and Brock, you doing a wonderful job. You keep on building up the point. Be the player. Keep on being a fullback.
Oh yeah, that guy better be Pro Bowl.
We like you as a fullback and a defensive title.
Yeah.
What's the passer to? Hey man, like I say, hey man, go Bucs, and the Rams. We'll see them when we get over there.
That's right, Mr. Williams. I love your calling. I think it's the first time you've called with into my post game show, and I really hope you will do it more often.
Yeah, man, because I was trying to get in contact with my brother on what you heard. I guess he was so excited he didn't want to come on tonight.
Well, I have heard that you. No, we do the post game show here. Dave and I do the post game show, and I really hope you'll become a regular caller here on the post game show.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Awesome, because I've heard you. I listened to you.
Definitely, man. Yeah. Like I say, and I was telling them earlier that I say my guy 4-5 was gonna make a big impact, and right in the middle of the game, he did that.
Yes, sir.
Devin White made a big impact. Shaq there, hey, let him know you can still intercept the ball.
Yeah.
And hey man, I love you guys, and you guys doing a good job. Hey man, like I say, when it's all said and done, because my guys sent me a belt. I'm waiting to win 10 more games, and then I'm gonna win my championship.
Nice.
They had sent me a belt for my birthday, because my birthday was just Monday on the 13th.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I'm waiting to win 10 more games, because if I win 10 games, guess what? I'm going back to the Super Bowl.
Nice.
I'm going to win my championship belt.
There you go. There
Hey,
you
man,
go.
I love y'all boys. And once again, hey, man, go Bucs. On to the next game.
Yes,
Like
sir.
I say, we don't like this rain no more. We like the next rain that's coming.
That's right. That's right.
There you
What's your
go.
favorite
All right,
one,
man.
Mr.
Hey,
Williams?
Tom Bowles, you
Mr.
know how to dial it up. Like I say, that our defense engines haven't started yet.
That's right.
It's just getting clumped.
And Mr. Williams,
Yes,
Williams,
sir.
what's your favorite ring? What's your favorite ring?
The one that's coming.
That's right. The
Next
next,
year.
the next one.
2022.
That's right. That is right.
That's exactly right.
That's the next rain. 2021 already got here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but that don't even matter no more.
That's right.
We going. I'm gonna take a page out of Bruce Arians' book. He said, "My team last year won the Super Bowl. This team this year ain't done that."
That's right.
And I agree.
Yep.
You know,
And they got to win
you ask
that
McCoy
division this year.
Yep.
what rain you like? He said, "I like the next one." You ask my defensive team.
Yeah.
What rain y'all like? We like the next one after those.
Yep.
Yeah, hey man, I love y'all, man. Hey man, once again, go Bucs. St. Louis Rams. The LA Rams. Guess what? Y'all the next one to walk the plank.
That's
So
right.
far, we got two teams done already. We done pushed them off in the Hillsborough River.
That's right.
So,
You're number 3.
Matthew Stafford, when you was in Detroit, we already got your phone number.
That's
So
right.
we know. Tom Bowles already know. Dial up some heat, and he gonna give it away.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you did a good job tonight. You did a good job tonight. But when we come over there, you already know. Sue do not like y'all anyway. So
That's right.
so he's gonna make sure that he talk for that game.
Yeah. Well, he's going to be ready for this game. You
Yeah.
know, he's going to be jacked up for this.
Yeah, because y'all kicked me off y'all team.
Yep.
And I came here, I won the Super Bowl.
Yep.
I made history
Yep.
with this team.
That's right.
So I feel I got a vendetta against y'all. So
That's
when I
right.
get back over here, y'all think when I intercepted and I did a dance in his zone?
You are getting me jacked up, Mr. Williams.
Yes, sir. Hey, man, I love y'all, man. I'm going to let y'all get back to y'all broadcast. Hey, man, once again, go Bucs.
Yes, sir.
And,
Go Bucks.
and I'll see y'all guys when we get the next rain.
That's right.
And y'all got me to come down to Tampa so y'all can tell me what press box y'all at so I can come in and have me some rain.
You got it. You got it, Mr. Williams.
Hey, Mr. Williams,
Hey,
you
man, I
are the
love y'all guys,
broadcast.
man.
All right. You take care.
All right, brother.
Bye-bye.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Williams. That was awesome. I've heard him on other shows and everything. He finally called. He gets one of these. Way to go. And for actually mentioning.
Walk the plank.
There you go. He gets that. That is awesome. Yeah, what a great call. I'm excited, man. We got good callers tonight. This is fun. Todd called. I mean, Billy, Billy the Giants fan or whatever.
I think you're going to hear from him again.
Yeah, I hope so. But as I was saying before that little flurry, new game, new players shined, and that's what it goes like. If you recall, going back to Brady in New England, there was always somebody different. It sucked if you had him on your fantasy team. If you drafted New England people, because it'd be a different running back each week. It would be a different wide receiver each week. It was, Brady would have a 2 or 3 touchdown, 200-yard game one week, and then the next week it would be 4 or 5 touchdowns when you had him on the bench, and it was just always backwards. And that's exactly what they seem to be doing here. It's kind of fun. I mean, it really is kind of fun to go down that road. But I don't know. I mean, Dave, you already pretty much covered a lot of the fantasy stuff going on. I want to ask you about your surprises and disappointments in the game today. Surprises and disappointments. Now, for me, I guess the biggest surprise in the game was I really don't know what they were doing with their kicking game. And this is, maybe I should throw that in disappointments because they kind of came together. I don't understand what in the world they were doing. And it just seemed like very bad. It's like saying, yeah, well, we got this great guy, but let's not put our faith in him. And it just didn't make any sense to me. So was I surprised? I was both surprised and disappointed in the kicking game. I mean, and I'm going to say it, and everybody, you guys can all jump on my case about this. You can all tell me, how could I be surprised about this? Why should I be surprised about this? But I'm going to say it. I'm surprised Gronk just keeps doing it game after game after game after game after game, year after
Rick,
year.
how can you be surprised that Gronkowski
was coming?
Gronkowski is a surprise. He's 32 years old. He's in the best shape of his life, and his quarterback's just hitting his prime, apparently.
Yeah, apparently Tom Brady's hitting his stride.
How can that be a surprise?
Yeah, Tom Brady has apparently decided now's the time he's going to start to shine. I mean, it's crazy. But and Mike Edwards, of course, that's a surprise. I mean, good for him. But that was a surprise. Disappointments, the kicking game, absolutely. But the biggest disappointment to me, and I know they did better. But the biggest disappointment for me is the running game. I still want to see more out of the running game. Dave, your surprises and disappointments.
Well, my surprise would be Carlton Davis leading the team with 8 solo tackles. He had 9 in total, and he had a pass deflection. You don't expect that coming from a defensive back, and it was just a phenomenal game that he played. My disappointment, again, I mentioned it earlier. It's the defense played great in the fourth quarter, but you're going to have to play that type of defense sustained throughout the entire game. I thought they sleepwalked through the first half, and the offense sleepwalked through the third quarter. And then it's like, oh, we're only up 3. I think we need to play now. They need to have that intensity throughout the entire game.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the Falcons have a great offense, guys. The fact that they were scoring and they were moving the ball, if you're upset about that, you don't understand football, because this team scores. They always score. They just can't stop anybody else from scoring. I mean, they can drop 50 in a game, but they'll give up 52. I mean, that's the kind of team that they are. They are not a good football team. And I mean, that's how it, guys, that's the difference. That's why they're 0-2 and we're 2-0. You score 48 against the Falcons, and you should, and you only give up 25. That's fine. And while the game seemed pretty close, but you got 2 pick sixes. Guys, that's part of this team. Understand this. When you have a defensive line like this defensive line, you're going to get pick sixes like that. You're going to get crazy stuff like that. Stuff like that's going to happen. So, yeah, it's okay. They basically doubled the score of the Falcons. Good game. I mean, that's about all there is to it. It's a good game. You played a great offense, and you beat the crap out of them. You got 2 pick sixes, and you outplayed them. I mean, I don't know. To me, Fournette, he looks more potent than Rojo, but Rojo came through on a key 4th down run. They needed 1 yard. He got 6. Rojo did come through on that, but it just feels like Fournette's the better running back, and Giovanni Bernard. Dave, you and I were on headphones sort of listening to the game and watching the game, and there was a big play in the fourth quarter, and I said, oh, it's Giovanni Bernard time. Here comes Giovanni Bernard, and sure enough, there he goes. And I think it was 3rd and 7. They ended up with 4th and 1, and that's when Rojo got his 1 yard run. Bernard's everything that we had hoped, and I, for one, I'm going to start beating the drum saying I sure hope he gets a little more playing time.
Yeah, he didn't get a carry tonight. He had 2 targets and 2 receptions for 16 yards, referring to Giovanni Bernard. And when you're looking at the rushing game, Fournette had 11 carries for 52, Jones 6 for 27. But like you said, Jones turned it on when it needed to be turned on. So yes, the rushing game has somewhat to be a desired, but when your passing game's clicking, this team's going to pass first.
Were you concerned at all about the third quarter? I mean, is that just a blip on the radar, like a freak thing where they only had 19 yards. I mean, is that
Well,
just
here's
one of
my
those-
concern when you look at the second half of the Dallas game and you look at the third quarter of this game. This is a flip. Last year, this team came out and they offense kicked it into high gear. They were down 17-0 at halftime to the Falcons last year, turned it around in the second half. They were known for a team that if you don't have them by the throat at halftime, they're coming for you.
Right.
And now the Cowboy game, the offense leaved a lot to be desired in the second half. And
Yeah.
the same thing happened here in the third quarter. So now it seems to be they've lost that edge where they're a second half team and just comes out and steamrolls you from an offensive side of the ball.
But this happened. This was the same thing at the first half of last year, where they struggled in the. I mean, there were multiple games when they lost leads. Now they came back in a few games, but I believe at the beginning of the year they were good in the second half or the first half. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I think one of the first games they played, I think it was the Rams game. They took the lead and then fell behind. This is maybe to something this team needs to figure out how to play better in the second half right off the top. What's up with the offensive line? This was not a great defense that they were playing, and they gave up, I think it was at least 3 sacks. What's up with the offensive line? Any thoughts?
Well, they did give up 3 sacks, and Brady, that fumble that was caused by the Atlanta defense, where it was Dante Fowler. He didn't see it coming. And you didn't see that a lot.
That's terrifying.
Through this winning streak on this the second half of the season. So you do start to wonder, like you said, the Atlanta defense is look at what happened to them in week 1. And now Brady was sacked 3 times and with fumble loss that really wasn't his fault.
Yeah.
So it is certainly a question mark, and you don't like to have question marks like that when you're going to LA.
Yeah. I mean, I always said it takes 2 games. The first 2 games you kind of throw out, but by week 3, that's when it starts counting. So I mean, that's sort of my let's call it my take on that. I guess for lack of a better way to put it, now no more excuses. We've got 2 games under our belt. You fellas know what's up. You played together all last year. No more excuses. I understand now they're throwing new wrinkles in and doing new things and trying to push you forward. Okay, no more excuses.
And we do have a comment that makes a good point. It's like one of those sacks was because Rojo missed a block. So it wasn't just the offensive line. It was also missed blocks by the running backs as well.
That's Tim Witherspoon made that comment on Facebook. And if you guys want to reach us on Facebook, you can. And we'll get back to that again real quick, Dave. Facebook at you can go to the Bucs Report Facebook page or Twitter. You can reach us you can go to Sports Talk FLA at Sports Talk FLA on the Twitter machine, and you can reach us there. But sorry, Dave, go ahead. Yeah. One of them was because Rojo's missed blocks, something he's missing blocks. He's very good at missing blocks. That's putting a positive spin. Guys, the last time that the Bucs were held below 30 was last year before the bye week. That they've scored more than 30 every game since then. I believe it's 10 in a row. That's crazy. And I think that was against Minnesota. I think that's the last game they lost. But yeah, it was the game before the bye week. Was the last time that they didn't score 30. But I don't know. I mean, I heard a comment that sort of bothered me by announcers during this game, and I want to point it out. It said at one point they said, well, other than the pick 6, the Falcons scored on their last 2 drives. This was after the first pick 6 by Mike Edwards. Other than the pick 6, the Falcons scored on their last 2 drives. And the first thing that came through my mind was, well, yeah, but other than that, how was the play, Mrs. Lincoln? I mean, it's just so other than the interception that the defense had that scored 6 points. Yeah, other than that little thing, I mean, to me, it's like, yeah, let's just not look at it. It's such a one-sided comment, and it bothers me that, you know, when announcers make a comment like that, it's silly, and it shows it. I don't believe announcers are biased against the Buccaneers. I always hear this a lot. We never get respect. Guys, we get more than our share of respect from the media. Okay? We get more than our share. I get it. There's some idiots that don't necessarily give the Bucs a fair shot, that always talk bad about the Buccaneers, Chris Collinsworth. But I get it that there are some people that do that. What are you going to do? But in general, guys, stop complaining about the media and all of that. Listen, man, this team did well. This team is well respected. This team is very talked about. Everybody gets mad now. It seems like so many Bucs fans get mad when they turn on the TV and, you know, you flip on the NFL Network and there's not Bucs news. Well, there are 31 other teams, guys. 31. So, yeah, right. You're not getting wall-to-wall Buccaneer coverage like it's the Buccaneer Network. No, I get that. But the Bucs are getting a lot of coverage. A lot. Don't think that you're not getting enough exposure and respect. Don't think that the Bucs are not getting enough exposure and respect. You're used to that, but it's time to stop that whining. It's time to stop that crying, because the Bucs get a lot of respect. And it's time for you guys to stop thinking that way. It's time to understand. Listen, I had a friend of mine in Atlanta who said he feels like the Buccaneers are basically the ESPN backdrop. I mean, it's because we're constantly getting coverage. So it's all good, guys. We're getting plenty of coverage. And when they're not looking at us, that's a good thing. So please stop we don't get any respect. Please stop it. Just stop it. And the refs hate us. The announcers hate us. Just stop. It's all good. Dave, you spent a little time putting together something we're going to do. It's sort of a fun little thing. Dave, your Twitter handle and Facebook handle are what?
David W. Says at Twitter and on Facebook.
Okay, David W. Says at Twitter and Facebook. So we're going to do a quick little segment here on the post-game show called David W. Says. And what does David W. say?
Well, throughout the preseason and the first week of this NFL season, you would have thought the Bucs were in trouble in many minds of many a Buc fan. You lost 2 preseason games. It's resulted in sounding the alarm. Cries of Super Bowl hangover and being unmotivated were heard loud and clear. Throw in a field goal to win the first regular season game. Again, I say win the first regular season game with 2 seconds left, and many Buc fans were despondent that this game was just way too close. The defense gave up 451 yards of offense. There were 11 penalties, 4 turnovers. The secondary's banged up and weak. All is lost. Okay, I'll tell you. At present, the Bucs have not won the NFC South Division since 2007 or 14 years ago, and still counting. A fact that Coach Arians keeps bringing up to motivate the team. Prior to the Super Bowl win last year, the Bucs had not won a playoff game since their first Super Bowl win in 2003 or 17 years prior. 2007 was also the last time the Bucs had made the playoffs prior to the 2020 Super Bowl season, ending a 13-year drought. I said that to tell you, Buc fan, that these are absolutely the best of times. That unique, special, and at times devastating Bucs suffering is a thing of the past. You have the greatest of all time at quarterback. He's very happy, and he might stick around with the franchise after he retires at 50. You have an aggressive and capable ownership and front office. In addition, you have an intense and, let's say, colorful coach. And now a 10-game winning streak. And the Bucs are primed for a run at that elusive back-to-back Super Bowl victory. In fact, put this on your wall. You have a unique positive distinction of having the only team to have won the Super Bowl in their home stadium. David W. Says These are the best times for the Tampa Bay Buccaneer fans. Let's enjoy them to the fullest.
Awesome. Thank you, Dave. That was fantastic. Fantastic. David W. says, and y'all ought to freaking listen. Y'all ought to freaking listen. That was awesome. Thank you for the first. David W. says, if you want to follow Dave, please do it on Twitter or Facebook at David W. says. And thank you for doing that while I got a glass of water and needed to.
Hey, I'm here to help.
Guys, this is what it's like today when we watched this game and we saw those 2 pick sixes in the fourth quarter. This is what it's been like to play the Bucs, quite a bit in the last 7 years. Only we're on the other side of the ball now. The pick sixes that win you games. This is where it's different. So to agree with what David W. says, it's absolutely time to thump your chest. It's time to stand on your chair and yell and scream and shout from the rooftops that you're a Bucs fan. It's time. It's not going to get better than this. It can't. All right. This is as good as it can possibly get. I don't think anybody had as magical of a year. I cannot think of any team that had as magical of a year as the Bucs did last year. Everything went their way. They avoided COVID. For the most part, they avoided injuries. The one guy who got injured is a huge part of the team, Vita Vea, and he made it back for the home Super Bowl. It doesn't get better than where we're at. It can't get better than where we're at. I mean, I guess you could say, yeah, we could go undefeated. Well, yeah, we could go undefeated. I get it that we could go undefeated, but I just don't. It's not going to happen. I mean, that you expect undefeated or you're unhappy. That's ridiculous. Okay, another Super Bowl. I'm behind you. I'm with you, 100%. I am 100% with you. But come on, guys. Anybody complaining? Just stop. Just stop. I mean, you got Mike Edwards picking off 2 passes for running them back for touchdowns. Rondé Barber and Dwight Smith are the only 2 who have done that. That was a magical year, wasn't it? Wasn't it? It brought us a Lombardi trophy. So, I mean, guys, there's so much that we've got to be happy about. This is the 7th 5 TD game by Brady, and 2 of them have been winning with him with the Buccaneers. I want you to think about that, guys. He's barely been here a year. And 1/3 of his 5 touchdown games are here. Brady's playing his best football now. Let me say this again. The greatest quarterback in the history of the NFL is playing his best ball now. As your quarterback on your team, it doesn't get better than this. So celebrate it, scream it, shout it from the rooftops, Bucs fans. We are the freaking champs, and we're coming for you next week. So now let's look forward to the Rams game. Let's look forward to the Rams game. My message about the Rams game, while everybody's going to be tempering expectations, this is going to be my message. Rams, we're coming for you. Rams, we're coming. Stop telling me, well, you're going to lose some games. You're going to blah, blah, blah. Screw that. We're coming for you, Rams. Who'd they struggle against today, Dave?
The Rams.
Yeah. They struggled
I was
against.
looking at week 3. Actually, here's an interesting fact that Bruce Arians can use is that the Rams are a 1.5 favorite. the early
Yeah,
line.
the Colts. Okay, the Rams.
Yeah, the Colts today. It was
okay,
the
so
Rams
they struggled against the Colts. All right, now
Right. On the road.
Rams
In fairness, on the road. They won by 3, 27-24.
So the Rams are favored. Hey, Rams. Knock, knock. Guess who's coming? You want to know who's coming? Call Patrick Mahomes and ask. That's all I got to say is when it comes to this week's game, all your warnings, all your expectations, all your don't get your hopes up, screw that. All of you saying that, screw that. We're coming. Bucs are coming. So Rams, be afraid. Be quaking in your freaking boots. This is not the team you played last year. This is a whole different, no pun intended, ball game. And get ready. Because I'm telling you guys, this team's getting motivated. Bruce Arians is going to be pissed. I guarantee you they're going to have a hard week of practice. And I honestly think, as Eugene Thomas said in chat, as Gene Thomas said, we're finding ways to win. Thank you, Gene. He put that in on Facebook. He's watching the show on Facebook, and he's right. We're finding ways to win. That's Gene from Buck What You Heard. So yeah, guys, I'm going to thump my chest a little bit as a Bucs fan, and I'm going to say, no, I'm not afraid of the Rams. Screw the Rams. Who the heck are they? What have they done? Screw them. Dave, any thoughts on the game next week?
It'll be interesting. I kind of equate the Rams to a certain degree to the Bucs at the first of last year, in that you have a new quarterback, and while in some regards things have gone well, I can't believe when they have a type of defense like the Bucs and they see that front seven that things are going to go off the rails a bit for their offense. As good as Matthew Stafford is, he hasn't seen a defense like the Bucs, and I think a lack of familiarity with his receivers is going to haunt the Rams.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I like Matt Stafford. I really do, and I hope the guy does well. And it's no hate for the Rams. It's no hate for the Rams. It's just stop apologizing for being this good. Stop trying to be meek and nice. It's time to beat the freaking Rams. We beat them 2 years ago. They beat us last year. Our turn. It's our turn. And to the Rams, and I mean, if you think just because you're the Rams and you got your fancy new stadium and your pretty new uniforms, I think they're weird. Just because you know all of that, okay, rely on all of that. But guess who's coming? And Ndamukong Suh's coming back. JPP's coming. Vita Vea's coming. Joe Tryon's coming. I mean, do I need to get into the linebackers? You want to talk about Lavonte David? You want to talk about Devin White? You really want to go there? Your defense better be good. I can tell you this, the last couple times we played, you didn't come near Tom Brady. You couldn't sniff him. So if you couldn't do it the last 2 times, what makes you think you're going to do it now? It's the same guys we've got on offensive line. So yeah, I'm going to talk. Knock, knock. Guess who's coming? Guess who's coming? So yeah, your fancy new stadium, there's someone at the door. Let us in. Time to beat the pants off of you guys. Those pretty little pants that you guys got. All right, guys. Anybody have any questions for us? Please fire it off to and please call in, guys. 678-825-5263, 678 talk to me. That's what we're here for. Let's talk. You want to come? You want to thump your chest? You want to yell at the Rams? We're here for you. That's what we're here for. Start screaming at them. Now's the chance. It's time to shut them up because somehow or other it feels like everybody thinks we're not going to win. Vegas really favored the Rams. Did y'all hear that? I wish Harry's still out there. Harry, if you're still out there, call me. If you're still out there, call me. Because, yeah. Oh, man. Keith Larson with the quote of the night. I'm going to pull this up here. I love this. Tell the lambs that the proverbial barbarians are at the gate. That's right.
Knock, knock.
That's right. Guess who's here at your brand new stadium, knocking on the door, ready to come in.
With your brand new quarterback.
Yeah. Knock, knock, knock. It's time. It is time, guys. And I don't know that I'm jacked up for this game. I am so excited for this game. I don't even know what time is this game next week. I don't even know.
It's a 4:00 game.
4:00 game. Okay. Awesome. 4:00 game. Gee, is it going to be on nationally? I'm kidding. Is it 4:25?
It's 4:25.
Yeah.
The scheduled kickoff.
Yeah, I figured as much. I figured it was going to be the national game. So yeah. Wow. Guys, it's a whole different animal now being a Bucs fan, isn't it? I mean, we're only allowed so many primetime games, so now they just stick us on the national 4:00 game. So that's fun.
It does take some getting used to that the Bucs are the it team.
Yeah, I mean, not just the it team. They may be. I mean, like they have potential to be a historically it team.
I mean, I was just thinking, how many players on the current Buck roster are going to be Hall of Famers?
No, okay. So we did this on one of my shows. Do this with me, Dave. You ready?
Yeah.
Let's start on defense. If now here's the caveat. If the player stays on his current trajectory. All right? That's the caveat. If the player stays on their current trajectory. Let's start on the defensive line. JPP? Yes. Ndamukong Suh? Yes. Vita Vea? Undoubtedly. I'm not even going to talk about Joe Tryon. Devin White? Yes. Levante David? Yes. Antoine Winfield? Yes. Let's go to the other side of the ball. Tom Brady? Probably.
He might make it in on
right. Mike Evans? Yes. And AB? Antonio Brown? Yes. If he stays on his current trajectory, that's the caveat.
Well,
guys.
he's got a PR problem when it comes to that.
No, because if he doesn't cause any trouble from this point forward, he's the first ballot guy.
He's got a PR problem.
Yes, he does, but he's so squeaky clean. I've got people already who talk to me on a day-to-day basis who say, "Yeah, that guy's been nothing but a model citizen." Okay. Good to see somebody get their life turned around. Okay.
It's a different world we live in today, and he's going to I doubt he'll be first ballot.
No,
just for those reasons.
And I do think he will be because, well, we'll get into that. That Tuesday night, tune in. Oh, hold on. All right. Hey, Keith, how you doing?
Hey, I'm back here with very little in hand, but I do got a couple cool nuggets for you.
Okay.
First of all, I think David thinks that Antonio Brown has a PR problem. A shout out to the long and much beleaguered Buccaneer tackle Donovan Smith.
Absolutely.
Today started his 100th career game.
Wow. How about that? By the way, speaking of, we were just going through the list of people who if they stay on their current trajectory, will be in the Hall of Fame. There's one guy that's no doubt, Tristan Wirfs. Okay.
If we're talking trajectory, you can make an argument for from the starting 22, including, well, then you'd have to include the kickers, right?
Kickers rarely make the Hall of Fame, though.
So are we talking Hall of Fame or Ring of Honor?
No, Hall of Fame.
No, Hall of Fame.
Okay, Hall of Fame, I would say you can make an argument for a dozen people on this team right now.
Yeah, we've just done 10 easily. Okay, 10
And
easily.
Ring
And I
of
haven't gotten
Honor-
to running
Ring of
backs.
Honor 20.
What's that?
If we're talking Ring of Honor, it could be upwards of
Oh yeah,
coaches
just
and all that.
it's so
They-
funny.
they'll
I
have
don't even
to
think
have
they.
their own
I don't know
ring.
how they're
They'll
going to
have a
handle the
second
ring
ring
of
for
honor.
this team.
Yeah, I mean, you just give them a ring and literally
They have their own.
build a ring. You know, they're probably going to have a new stadium in a few years. Just build a separate ring just for this team. Just list the names around it and be like, yeah, okay, we're good. I mean, there's at least
the Ring of
11 or
Honor-
12. Yeah.
The Buccaneers Ring of Honor is going to start looking like Lord Stanley's Cup.
Well, but it's ridiculous, and really, who out of these people, if they continue on their current career trajectory, who are you going to not put on there? I mean, it's actually probably easier. I mean, okay, I mean, when you go back to the Hall of Fame, Leonard Fournette's probably not going to make it. I would say Rojo certainly not going to make it. Staying on your current career trajectory. All right. Oh, there's that Gronk guy. Okay. That brings us to 11. Does Ali Marpet make it?
Again, hard for offensive linemen because there are a lot of great ones.
Right.
So,
Wirfs is a yes. I'm going to say no to Marpet.
what has Marpet got? One Pro Bowl at this point?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So what about Chris Godwin? Does Chris Godwin make the Hall of Fame?
Not if he stays on a team with two other number one wide receivers. No.
Yeah, but I mean, if he stays on his current career trajectory, right now I think he's the Bucs' leading wide receiver.
Yeah, yardage wise, yeah. I think I mean, Hall of Fame, and you know, a whole nother discussion or layer to this discussion is the Hall of Fame getting watered down, or at what point are you going to have, like, you know, this is the 27,236 inductee or whatever.
Right.
You're gonna start filling up because we're talking about our players right now, right? What about the players who that have been winning championships with the Patriots and, let's say, the Chiefs?
Yeah.
They're going to be putting some people in the Hall of Fame here soon too when they retire. So I guess my point is, I could argue, a dozen.
Easily, yeah. I mean, it's there. There are a dozen on this team that I think there are going to be some of them you're going to have to find a way to argue against. Now, I said keep in mind, I did say, oh man, I didn't. Oh yeah, I did count Vita Vea. That's right, I did. I was just, I look at this team and just.
It's hard for him to get in.
Yeah,
I think it's hard for Vea to get in because.
I don't know.
I'm not saying I agree with it.
Yeah,
I'm not agreeing with this, but I think without all the statistics that come, that's a huge part of pitching the Hall of Fame induction to the committee. Now, we all know that where Vea's value is eating up double teams. Hell, if you watch today, some triple teams a couple times.
That guy's he's our best defensive lineman.
I would shudder being on the other
It's
side.
kind of like the most valuable person at a restaurant isn't always the person you see up front, like the waitress. It's typically the cook.
Yeah.
And you know, so the waitress gets all the money in the tips, and the cook is back there sweating, you know what?
Yeah, and oh my God, you're right. You know what? Rich 0665 said I didn't mention Shaq Barrett.
Nope, Shaq Barrett. And let's put it this way: if Levante David had been getting attention his entire career like he has the past year and a half, he would be a shoo-in, like a lock. You'd be first ballot because his
right
stack up.
He's a Luke Kuechly kind of guy.
Oh yeah, dude. And Devin White right now, and Buccaneer fans, go ahead and grab everything that makes you upset that you throw. Right now, at this, as Rick would say, trajectory, Devin White is on pace to be and will be a better linebacker than Derek Brooks.
No, I agree with you. I agree, and I'm not throwing anything because that's taking nothing away from Derek Brooks. It's just saying, holy crap, Devin White is good.
And I literally have a prayer candle with Derek Brooks' picture on it. So I'm a Derek Brooks guy. But what we've seen from Devin White, especially that leap, kind of right about coincidingly about the same time the team caught fire last year. Devin White played that last half of that season in playoffs with his hair on fire.
Yeah. And
today he blitzed several times and didn't get the stats out of it. But you saw Matt Ryan's face. If his eyes weren't big as saucers, his face was beat red like a Bucs jersey because he was so pissed off.
Well, how do you think we ended up with 2 pick sixes? I mean, that happened in the fourth quarter, and the reason it happened is in the first 3 quarters. Even if you're not getting to him, you had disrupted him, and the guy knows you're coming by the fourth quarter.
Oh, absolutely, and that's the thing. This defense, I'll even say it. I talked a lot about the press conferences and Arians and Brady talking about how the offense is not playing as good as they could right now, but neither is the defense.
Right.
The defense still has a large ceiling ahead of it, and I'll say that because there was some huge Pro Bowl, All-Pro caliber plays out there today.
Yeah,
but not. They didn't string them together like you would want them to or expect them to,
but
and they will.
It's coming, yeah, it's coming, and it's coming. That's a great part of this is that it's coming. It's not a matter of gosh, are these guys going to be able to get it together? Do either of you doubt that it's coming?
Did I doubt it?
No. Do either of you doubt that this team getting together and hitting its stride again like they did last year near the end of the year? Do either of you doubt that that's coming ahead?
No.
The only thing that could do it would be a rash of injuries. And I hate to even bring the point up. Don't want to jinx it. But it's beyond amazing, this run the Bucs are on, that they haven't had any major injuries.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I mean, here's what's so crazy about not just the last 18 to 24 months for Buccaneers fans, but think about this. A Buccaneers quarterback today, ladies and gentlemen, threw 5 touchdowns, and he's not even arguably the story of the game with back-to-back pick sixes by one player. Think about when the last time that happened. Not 2 pick sixes in a game, back-to-back throws.
Yeah. Yeah, and get this.
Okay.
He threw 5 touchdowns following a game with 4 touchdowns. And in that 5 touchdowns, how many picks were there? 0.
2.
No, none.
Oh, well, yeah.
No, out of the 9.
0 today.
Yeah, 0 today. 0. So, and he threw for how many yards? Dave, how many yards did Brady throw for today?
276.
276.
Okay, is Mike Edwards even a starter?
Yeah. Yeah, I think Mike Edwards, is starting.
Is it because of injury?
Yeah,
because
I think it's because of injury.
I thought our safeties were Jordan Whitehead and Antoine Winfield Jr.
No, isn't Mike Edwards a cornerback filling in for, I might be wrong about this, but I think isn't he the one coming in filling for SMB, or am I wrong about that?
No, that was Jamel Dean.
He was filling in for
the point being is,
wow.
Last year, okay, when you start naming Buccaneers on this team and everybody, knows who they are,
yeah.
Mike Edwards is way down that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what was the final score?
Yeah, 48 to
25.
5. Yeah, there you go.
And those 14 of those points were the back-to-back, 13 because of the kick, but you get my point.
Yeah, I wish Harry was around because did you hear what the early line is?
Well, the Rams are favored. Whatever,
bro. That jacks me up.
Vegas, you're not slick here, Vegas. You're making okay. Have you been watching Tom Brady?
Just that's the only thing I know how to say is. Guess who's at the door? Your brand new fancy new stadium. Yeah.
The barbarians are here, bro.
That's right. The barbarians are here.
Or as I said, the Batbarians. Maybe that's some kind of Batman version. I don't know.
I don't know.
Just a little typo there.
The Buck.
Hey, guys, dude, can you believe, like I said, 5 touchdown passes on the back of 4 touchdown passes and 2 pick sixes by the same guy in one game? Think about all that.
Yeah, it's stupid. It is stupid.
And we think nothing of it.
Well, I mean, I'm
Brady.
just sitting here. That's why I'm so jacked up, and I want fans to be this jacked up. I want fans to feel this. I want the all of you guys in chat, all of you guys who are not chatting, who are sitting and listening. I want all of you to think about it and wrap your mind around it and feel it. We're that good. We're that good. It's time for us to look at the Rams, who are a good football team, and say, "Hey, we're coming." No apologies. Not, I know y'all are good, but no, we're coming. The best quarterback ever, who's seemingly hitting his stride, as Dave said. I mean,
he's a late bloomer.
I mean, yeah, Tim Witherspoon, I agree with you. I'd like to see 6 TD passes next week.
Well, let me ask you this: is in your all's opinion, is the Rams defense better than the Bucs?
No.
Okay. Is the Rams defense better than what we saw today?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Is it better than Dallas's defense?
Yes.
Much.
Okay, so this is arguably the best defense we've seen so far in
since the playoffs.
Since Washington in the playoffs.
Yes. Well, I'm not a huge. I think it's since New Orleans. In the playoffs.
Okay. Okay, since New Orleans. That's fair too. Okay, so the Buccaneers offense, would you say, is significantly better than the Rams?
Yes.
Okay. So Bucs fans, what are you worried about?
It's just, I get it. It's years of training. I get it. It is. It's years and years and years of I mean, it is. I get it. It's learned behavior. I mean, I was a psych major. It's a Pavlov thing, okay? Instead of the bell rings and the dog gets hungry, no, for us it's the whistle blows and we get, oh crap, here we go. I mean, it's just we're used to this. We're used to things not going well. We got the number 1 draft pick, this great quarterback. Pick six after pick six after pick six. I mean, things happen. We got Lovie Smith, hooray! And he's such a great defensive mind. You remember what happened? Okay, he goes into his basement and he gets his favorite guy. He's been thinking about it, sitting in his basement, and he comes up with the perfect solution to how he can have a better offense. Let's bring in Jeff Tedford. Are we gonna have later? Jeff Tedford has a heart attack and leaves the team.
Tedford comes to camp. And after 2 practices, sees the team and goes, Urban Meyer.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what happened, and ran back to California.
He was coaching the next season.
Yeah, he ran back to California. And I mean, guys, we're used to this. So I understand feeling the way you feel, but it's time for the healing, guys. It's time to stop feeling sheepish. I understand why they feel this way, Keith. I get it. I get that fans feel this way because it's been beaten into them. Anytime you get excited, you get embarrassed. But it's gone.
Well,
that's over. It's really over.
But next week, Bucs fans, it's the Fox game of the week. You know, that means Troy and whatever that guy's name is with the big drunk-looking head will be calling the game. And the Buccaneers, it's basically a Brady versus Stafford duel, right?
Yeah. I almost feel like it's and you know what's funny is I almost feel like that's the sideshow to the defensive lines. I mean, this is 2 great defensive lines. And you know what? Jeffrey Olson on YouTube just commented. He said, "Don't overlook the Rams. They're our biggest competition. Next week will be difficult." Yeah, fine, Jeffrey, but I'm going to say this because this is the thinking I want that needs to stop. Jeffrey, we don't need to be apologetic. You know what? The Rams are good. Okay, we're better. We're Super Bowl champs. You got a fancy new stadium. Okay, you beat us last year when things were brand new. Before we went through the gauntlet of Rodgers and Breeze and Patrick Mahomes, and Patrick Mahomes' exact words were they embarrassed us. Okay, now we got to deal with Matt Stafford. If we weren't afraid of Patrick Mahomes, we're going to be afraid of Matt Stafford? Listen, I get it. They're a good football team. That's fine. But no apologies. Knock, knock. Who's at the door of your fancy new stadium? The Barbarians are at the door. It's time to kick it in and do some damage.
Well, let me clarify.
Here's the thing, looking forward a little bit, because we can start doing that, right?
Yeah.
Who is Jalen Ramsey going to cover? Is he going to cover Antonio Brown? Is he going to cover Mike Evans? Chris Godwin?
Yeah. Gronk?
Right. And hey, Aaron Donald. Last time you played the Bucs,
Last two times.
won, but you didn't do so good.
Last two times.
So,
he didn't even show up on the stat sheet.
So Buccaneers, keep Donald under control. Make sure AB gets lined up on Jalen Ramsey, and let's see how that plays out. And while they're paying attention to that, just throw it to Gronk down the middle every time like you do, and it'll be fine. Bucs defense, it's Stafford. He's a little more mobile than Brady, but not a lot. Put some pressure on the man. Get your hands up. Let's get some turnovers and show the Rams our version of California love.
It's time to put it together and play like you do against good competition. And you know Brady is licking his chops this week. You know he's not going to let this team kick back. You know that's what's happening.
We saw the Brady little video last week, the victory video with the little clock or
the 28-3.
Yeah. Wonder who he's going to troll tomorrow.
Yeah. I mean, this to me, I love the thought of this. I love you put it perfectly. And Keith, I'm gonna be harping on this, and this is gonna be my battle cry for the week. The Barbarians are at the door of your fancy new stadium. And you know, I mean, if I were Matt, have you guys seen that clip of Matt Stafford? It's the longest clip from NFL Films. It's an amazing clip of him separating his shoulder, going back out and playing in a game for Detroit. It's an amazing clip, and I'll see if we can figure out how to play it on Tuesday night. But I want to point out something that, okay, with him doing this, with him being that kind of guy, all I can say is still, while he's that kind of guy, he's facing a gauntlet of some badass defensive players that are going to be coming from everywhere. And I mean,
he hasn't seen a defense like this, buddy.
No. Who's their running back? Since Gurley's gone.
That would be Dave's department.
Yeah. Always ask Dave. Dave?
The Rams running back is Darrell Henderson Jr.
Yeah. You guys quaking in your boots?
He's questionable, so that means next up will be Sony Michel.
Yeah, you guys quaking in your boots for Sony Michel? Who's worried? Raise your hand if you're worried.
Hey, Jake Funk's right behind him. Watch out.
Yeah, Sony Michel. Yeah, exactly. A TV or a girl. I don't know.
Let me clarify. I see a comment about that AB's already a Hall of Fame level receiver. I agree with that. Yeah. What I'm saying is that the world has changed. No longer is it enough to be, oh, you're one of the greatest football players I've ever seen. Here's your gold jacket. Everything will be dredged up when it comes time for him to go on the ballot, and he may lose some votes as a result of his antics. Yeah. It wasn't that long ago when the Bucs would touch him with a 10-foot pole. So what I'm saying is yeah, he's a Hall of Fame level receiver, but that doesn't mean he's going in on the first ballot.
Well, I think he's going in because of this. If you figure he puts 5 years together where he's a model citizen, everybody's going to look at that one little, that time period, that 1 or 2 year time period, and you're probably going to hear people look straight up. You're going to hear whispers of, okay, maybe there was some mental health issues, or maybe there was this, or maybe there was that, but he got it together, and look at what he did. And I think if he gets it together for like 5 straight years, he's going to become a battle cry for people and say, look at what you can do. You can turn it around, and look at what he did. I think it's different than somebody like a T.O. who still is always out there being brash, and who's always out there, making, just getting in people's faces. Instead, you've got somebody who's, I mean, by all accounts, remember Arian said, no, we don't want him on the team because he's a diva. And now you've got everybody saying he's a leader in the locker room. He's one of the best players in the locker room. We're talking AB here. And if he does that for 5 straight years, probably the best route runner that the NFL has seen in a decade, it's hard to say that guy's not going in on the first round.
Well, I think that's a tribute to Jason Light and also to Bruce Arians, the way they've handled the situation with AB. They put him in a situation where he truly could succeed, and he has, to his credit. But like you're indicating, he needs to keep that going, because people will dredge up the past.
Sure. And you are correct, they will, but I just don't think it's going to have that much of an effect. I'm trying to look up let's see. There's a quote that let me see if I can find this. There's a quote that by him. It says Tom is a great guy. He's a rock. He's been my corner since day one. A big brother to me. He's been in my corner. He's a big brother to me. Look, this is what you get from a leader like Tom Brady. And I know some of you are sick of me beating that drum, but I'm telling you, until that guy, after he's in the Hall of Fame, if you don't like me beating the Tom Brady drum, guys, you're going to be disappointed because I'm not going to stop. Okay? I'm not going to stop. He's the greatest ever. And as Dave put it, he's hitting his stride now. He's playing his best football right now. Let me say that again. Wrap your mind about what I just said. Remember back when he came here and everybody said, well, he's kind of old. Let's see if he can still do okay. And,
I was one of them. I'll admit to it.
Yeah.
I'm like, how old is he? I'm like, are they crazy?
Yeah.
Look, nobody's ever done that.
Right. Can he limp through the last couple of years and maybe, pull off a surprise?
Everybody goes to Florida to retire.
Right. Right. But instead, he came here. Now think if at that point you could flash forward and say, no, he's going to play his best football ever. Yeah, that sounds stupid. It sounds ridiculous. But it happened.
You know what I think we're seeing?
What?
I think we're seeing what happens when you take the reins off the goat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I think that's why Tom's so happy here in Tampa.
Yeah. Well, I'm serious. It's like you took the bridle off the goat. That's exactly, he's likable. He's fun. He's somebody I want to listen to. I want to watch. He's somebody that I enjoy the stuff he does online. As you put it, when you saw the troll, the 328 troll on the back, right behind him, on his video this week, that's like expert level trolling, and he has fun. Everything he does is on perfect pitch. Every commercial, his commercials are funny. He's willing to make fun of himself.
Oh, I love the bit on Subway where it's like, hey, I'm Tom Britt, and they cut him off.
But I'm Tom Britt. Yeah. and but you don't like bread. That Subway commercial. I mean, or you don't eat bread. I mean, there's so many funny little things. And you just get the feeling he's having the time of his life. It's like he's having a ball. And you just get the feeling. I mean, I know his wording was, I've found my voice. Well, I think he's also just found his love and passion for this game again. And I think he's having a good time. And that's the different part of this. Is Tom Brady.
All though.
Well, we're having a good time. Yeah. We as Bucs fans sure are. And that's why I said, bringing it back to next week. Knock, knock. So, yeah. I mean, I screw you, Rams. Screw you. You're favored. You must be proud. Good for you. You won something. Vegas's heart. I mean, do I care? Not even a little. Not even a little. I think this team's won 10 in a row, and Vegas says, yeah, I don't think they're going to win this one. Really? Really? Rams are favored by 1.5. Put your money on the Bucs. Don't bet your house, though, please. You never know. Football's a funny game, man. The ball's not round. It bounces in weird directions. But let me tell you something. I'm confident that, and I'll even go out and say this. I get the feeling if they win this game, here's a genuine question. If this game is going to be a blowout, is there any chance that the Rams blow out the Buccaneers? No. Is there any chance the Buccaneers blow out the Rams? Yeah. What's that tell you? What's that tell you?
Football is the greatest sport of all time.
Yes, it does. It tells me that. Man, I'm jacked up as a Bucs fan. I am so. It is time, guys. We get to enjoy this. Let's just soak it all in. Let's ride the wave. Let's go with every little bit of it. Not give up on it. Not get bored with it. I mean,
I've said it before. I thought this was the year. I thought it would take a year for Tom Brady and Gronk to come in and AB and to gel. Look, how many of us honestly out there when it was 7-5? The Bucs were 7-5, down 17-0 against the Falcons, who they thrashed today. How many of us really thought, yeah, this is a Super Bowl year? It's coming.
No, who thought Gronk was going to be playing his best football? Who thought Brady was going to be playing his best football? I mean, honestly, when you got Gronk, what were you thinking? Let's be honest. When Gronk got here, what were you thinking? Straight up. Honestly, no, Keith, let me ask you this question. Okay. Honestly, no BS. Don't say, don't give the company line. All right. What did you think when Gronk signed?
Oh, well, okay. Honestly.
Yeah.
I thought he retired a little early anyway, and I'm pretty sure we know why.
Right.
Bill Belichick was a jerk.
Yep.
I was happy because we get to cover somebody with that much personality.
Right.
So even if this went horribly wrong, there'd be, one hell
it'd be a good story.
One-liners. And
right.
It'd be a great story. As far as playing,
yeah,
I had hopes that he would be close to what he used to be because of the lack of progression by O.J. Howard, who, by the way, he should be on a milk carton.
Right.
So I'll say this. I had expectations that if he could get to a form similar to what he was before, that he would be valuable. I knew he would be more of a security blanket for Brady, and that would help with at least having one guy that Brady was familiar with, more so than Antonio Brown at that point. What I was impressed by is I guess I never paid attention to Gronkowski's blocking when he was in New England, because last year, those first 6 to 8 games,
Yeah.
if you remember, the joke was, I'm a
blocking tight end. Yeah.
And I saw him go, okay, and listen, Saints fans, because I know some of you listen because you're mad and you're waiting for us to talk bad about Jameis, which will be on the show that comes on after this, Cheap Seats. Don't worry. I've got a bunch of stuff for you guys. But the Saints fans got that really – the Saints got that really loud defensive end. What's his name again?
Not Lattimore. No. Gosh.
David.
Just a second.
Guys, look, I already know he's looking down.
Yeah. Starts with a C. I can't think of his name. Yeah, anyway, the Saints have a defensive player.
A dominant defensive end. We'll call him Brandy Chastain.
Yeah, there you
Carl
go.
Anderson or Cameron Jordan?
Cam Jordan.
Cameron Jordan.
Yeah.
And I saw Rob Gronkowski manhandle him play after play after play. And I went, oh, my.
Yeah.
Then I realized Rob Gronkowski grew up with, 4 or 5 brothers that probably whooped his you-know-what.
Yep. Yep.
So now he gets to wear pads and a helmet. Yeah, he's gonna do damage. So my expectations were, at that point, he was an upgrade at tight end over Cameron Brate just because of his familiarity with Tom Brady. But after what we saw last year, especially when it came down to playoffs, and let's be honest, if it's hey opposing teams, I'm going to help you out. If you're playing the Bucs and they get in the red zone, they're throwing to Gronkowski or Evans. Okay, it's simple.
I don't know. I mean, AB. I don't know.
It's an embarrassment of riches. Who are you going to cover?
Yeah, it's almost always Gronk.
The Falcons let him run through the seam today. They played zone.
Touch his arms out, almost touch each sideline.
Yeah. It's just crazy. It is an embarrassment of riches in the sense that it's like, yeah, you're probably going to Gronk just because, I mean, you've got to try to stop the run, right? But Gronk knows exactly where to go. They're on the same page. See, my thought, well, Dave, let me get your thought first. What did you think when they signed Gronk?
I thought, quite frankly, if a guy sits out for as long as he did an entire season and comes back, he's not going to be back in the same place he was before. And the bigger question for me was, how much did Brady really have left in the tank? Because if he didn't have enough in the tank, it wasn't going to matter for Gronkowski either. But I was concerned. I'm like, is he a backup? Is he at starter's level? Where is he even at? So I wasn't exactly thrilled about it. I thought, well, it might be comfort, as Keith had said, for Brady, but I was not excited. I'm like, okay.
Well, I mean, I got to tell you that my thought process initially was, this guy's not going to be who he was. We already know that. Let's just accept the fact that he's not going to be who he was. And what are we going to get out of him? He'll probably be a good leader in the locker room, a good team guy, and he'll teach some of the, he'll teach Brate. Maybe he'll teach OJ Howard. We'll get that's a big part of what we'll get from him.
That's where I was
thinking.
at. I mean, I wasn't thinking, my gosh, they're gonna crack the 100 touchdown mark when you count regular and postseason. I never dreamed of that.
In my wildest
dreams,
I did not think Brady's going to have his best year, and Gronk is probably going to be at least as good as he was before, if not better. Did not occur to me. Never thought about it. Never considered it. I mean, it just wouldn't even cross my mind. I'm not that. What I'm seeing out of Gronk, I almost feel like you've got two people who, when you get near the red zone, it's like one brain between him and Brady. The way that they can almost look at each other and just, okay, I'm going to be here. They're going to do this. It's almost like you've heard the saying, chess and checkers. You know, we're playing chess, you're playing checkers. That's what it feels like when you watch those two play together. I mean, it's stupid. And I'm not trying to take a shot here. I'm trying to be honest. It's stupid. They're that good. They are that good. I don't know. I mean,
some of it for me, I think, is that how great Gronkowski is, at least for me personally, got lost in the Patriot way. That the Patriots do everything right as an organization. They have the defense. They have the offense. They're so balanced. They're so well coached, yada, yada. I didn't realize how great Gronkowski is. I didn't realize how great a blocker he is. I didn't realize how great a hands he has.
Right.
I mean, it's phenomenal. And again, the only thing I can think of is that the Patriots were just so great for so long, and Brady was there before Gronkowski, and you just sort of take for granted how great the organization is. But Gronkowski, for me as an individual, I did not realize his greatness until he came to the Bucs.
Well, I mean, I knew he was that good, but I just didn't think he was going to remain that good.
Exactly.
I just didn't think it. So, I mean, I don't know. It's crazy. It really is crazy. You know what, guys? I think we've had a long post-game show here. I could keep going. I know a lot of you are still here, but as I see the spammers are out, and it's probably, Billy the Giants fan or whatever his name was, or it's Brian the Saints fan who hopefully will be back. You never know. But guys, it's been a good night. We've done really well as a team. I can't tell you how jacked up I am about this team. When you struggle and win by 23, come on.
It's a good day.
Yeah.
It's a really good day.
So if we struggle next week playing a better team, we might only win by 8. I mean, guys, this is a good team that's going to get better, and it's going to get better, and it's going to get better. And that's the exciting part of all of it. It really is just exciting. There's not you can't expect better. Listen, guys, we're probably going to wrap this up. Even though there's still a whole bunch of you watching, and I hope you guys will hop over. There's going to be another show coming on here on Bucs Report right after us called Live from the Cheap Seats with Andrew Faubert. And I am certain Andrew is chomping at the bit, ready to go. And we're still talking, and I want to get out of his way. But it's hard to do when this many of you are still watching. It's hard to end the show. But I'm going to do that to get out of Andrew's way, because his show is awesome. And it's time for you guys to get a fresh take instead of, looking at our faces. Now you can look at Andrew's, and he's going to have a lot to tell you. I guarantee you that guy's awesome. So anyway, I was thinking about having caller of the night, but I don't know, between Todd and Mr. Williams and Billy the Giants fan, I don't know who I would call the caller of the night. Love them all of you guys. Christopher Cole, you're out there. Stephen Glasker, my friend, thank you for being here, both of you guys. Philip Schwegler, thank you for being out there. Jeffrey Olson, you guys are all awesome. All of you guys who commented, Tim Witherspoon, as always, with the great comments. Rich, thank you. Carl Hardy, thank you. Gene Thomas, thank you guys. All of you. I do get to see them even if I don't get to make comments. Johnny Dean, thank you. King Cook, thank you. What does this say here? Johnny Dean brought up Brady beat Brady's record of 8 consecutive wins in a row with 30 or more points today. The new record is now 9 until next week, maybe. Johnny, I think it's 10 is what I had heard, but maybe I'm incorrect about that. Anyway, all of you guys, Thank you guys. Thank you. Willow, as always. Thank you for being there. Ben Parrish. All of you guys, I can't go through all of you because there are just so many, but I want to say thanks. I do read the comments. I do see it. And I do appreciate you guys. All of you are awesome. It's been a great show. It's been a great night following a great game. Dave, do you have any final words?
I will say it is 9 because the last 3 games of the season, the Bucs beat the Falcons 31-27, the Lions 47-7, and the Falcons again 44-27. So 26-14 was the last time against the Vikings when
it was 10 weeks ago. That's what it was that they
correct.
Did not do it.
But
Got
3
it.
games, 4 playoffs, 7, and then 2 this year. It is 9.
Okay,
just trying to keep it straight.
No, I appreciate that. So we will be back here, same bat time, same bat channel, pretty close. 1 week from today, when the Bucs dismantle the Rams. Dave, any last words?
I've been looking forward. I did as a fan. I've been looking forward to the Rams game, and I was looking past the Falcons game. I admit to it, but I'm fired up for it. They're going to be in their shiny new stadium. And I'm looking forward to the Bucs to step up and play their best game and play it for 4 quarters come next Sunday at 4:25.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. Guys, coming up right after here is Live from the Cheap Seats with Andrew Faubert. Please hang around for that. Hop on his show. It's going to be some fresh perspective. Thank you guys for being here. Tuesday night, I will be back on Buck AF for all of you who really truly are Buck as well. You know what the F stands for. I want to see you guys on Tuesday night. I'm excited about Tuesday night. Lots of talk, and we will go from there to Keith. Thank you, Keith. You're still with us here.
Many thanks for your insight and your.
And let me just say one thing for the people in the comment section. Thank you for the support.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing. And now, if I were to yell Tampa, how did the people in the comment section respond?
Oh, there we go. He yells Tampa. What are you all going to yell? Now there's actually 2 correct answers to this. It all depends on whether or not you watched the
Monty Kiffin.
Yeah, the Monty Kiffin ceremony.
No.
Yeah, there we go.
There
we go.
Tim
Witherspoon did it correct. Tim Witherspoon said the answer is 2. Tampa 2. That was part of the Monty Kiffin enshrinement into the Ring of Honor today. He got the crowd to yell. He said, "If I yell Tampa, you yell 2. Tampa 2," and that they had the crowd doing that. But to the rest of you guys, absolutely Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay. To all of you. Keith, thank you for coming on, brother.
Merry Christmas, guys. Hey, great job, everybody. Good night. See you on the cheap seat.
Yes, sir. All right. And I want to thank all of you for being here. Like I said, it's been a fun night. It's been crazy. I don't know about you, Dave. I'm tired.
Well, I'm not even tired yet, but I am hungry.
Yeah. So all of you, thank you guys for being here. As I like to end every freaking show I do, there's only one thing left to say. Go Bucs! Go Bucs! Go Bucs!